One of my big positions, Coupang, is down a lot today. I have about a 5% position in this, and I also own some calls and I've sold some puts on it. And I really like it. I did a video on it a couple of years ago and then a follow up. And I really like the company and the growth prospects. So the drop in price doesn't bother me. And I'm not telling you to buy or sell. I'm just walking through my process. So in the original video I did, I mentioned that this is sort of like the Amazon of Korea. They have operations in Korea and Taiwan. And actually, they're kind of like a better version of Amazon than Amazon is, because Amazon will give you 1 or 2 day delivery. And in Coupang in Korea, their network of warehouses is so well developed and they do so many deliveries a day that they're very efficient at it. So if you order something from Coupang by midnight, it will be on your doorstep by 7 a.m., which is incredible. And then they expanded into Taiwan, and Taiwan is actually growing faster than Korea. And this is one of those stocks that has kind of a ratchet effect. So the company, if you use Amazon the first year, maybe you'll spend $100. The next year you'll spend $200. The third year, $300. You won't spend less the following year than you did before. And Coupang has that effect. So as they keep signing more and more customers, in the first year or two, it may not look that profitable, but by year 3 or 4 or 5, they're making a lot of money, and this has operating leverage. So if you get more customers and more deliveries from the same warehouses, you make more money, which is why companies like Amazon or Costco are most profitable in December, because you have a lot more sales using the same number of employees and physical plant and equipment. So it has great operating leverage. And it's got financial leverage, sort of like float for an insurance company, because on average, they sell their products in 30 days. And on average, they pay their suppliers in 90 days. So they get that float, that money to use for free that they can continue to grow. And currently, that's over $1 billion and growing. And they're expanding into other things like video, kind of like Amazon Video. And lately, they've been getting into cloud and AI. So they are doing computing as a service and AI for themselves, and they're offering it to other people in Korea. And that could be a future growth driver. And looking at the earnings, I own this, and I have a friend who owns this, and he makes a lot of money the day after earnings, because no matter how good the numbers are, this always goes down 5, 10, sometimes 15% after earnings. So sometimes I'll buy stock and he'll do options, and it tends to work out well. So today I sold some puts on this. So I'm all tapped out. I'm fully invested and I'm retired. I don't have a full-time job anymore. I do some consulting, but I don't have a steady paycheck. So I don't tend to take big risks anymore. But I did sell some puts on this. And normally I would sell some puts and buy some calls, but I just sold puts. I didn't buy any calls. And if you look at the numbers, things look great. Except for there's always one thing that isn't perfect that Wall Street hones in on, and that's why it drops 5 or 8%. And you can buy some stock the day after earnings, or do some options. And that's been my strategy. I'm not recommending it for you. So this is the one thing that I like about this the most. Most tech companies, they issue stock-based compensation and through the roof. So to keep people on, they give them options, but 1.2% dilution. So they're not overpaying people like other Silicon Valley companies with stock-based compensation. So when the earnings improve, you're a shareholder, you're not getting diluted, you're getting close to 100% of that. The only thing better than not diluting is buying back shares, but Coupang is using their money to expand, so I'd rather them use that than buy back shares. So net revenues 18% year over year. If this wasn't in a foreign currency, it would be 20% year over year, and 20% year over year is great revenue growth. Other companies would kill for that, but the stock is down this morning. So year over year, it went from 28.9 billion to 33.7 billion, and gross profit went from 2.3 billion to 2.7 billion, and the gross margin went up also. All good signs. Net income went from 70 million to 95 million in a year. That's great also. So this is one of the few not wonderful things. Net income went down year over year. So they've been reinvesting into things like Taiwan and their cloud and AI stuff. And that explains that. But adjusted EBITDA up, free cash flow up year over year from 935 million to 1.3 billion, and operating cash flow up also. Product active customers year over year up 10%. So it has gone up higher before year over year, and that could be why they are discounting this. But 10% year over year growth for a $50 billion company is still wonderful in my opinion. And this seems to be what the street is honing in on, which is adjusted EBITDA down 17% year over year. And this notably is only from developing offerings. So what's developing offerings? Well, just like Google has their moonshot thing, where they have the self-driving cars and they have the cloud and they have the Nest camera, and some of them do well and some of them fizzle out. Overall, it's done really well for Google. Developing offerings is the segment of of Coupang that does things like that. So that includes their expansion into Taiwan. It includes things like their fintech operations and their video streaming. And just like Google, it's not intended to make money at the beginning. It's intended to make money over the long term and to increase your moat. So the more things people do with Coupang, so if you are not just buying physical goods, you're also getting groceries delivered. You're also watching your movies on here. You're also using the payments app. You're also using the cloud stuff. The harder it is to disrupt their moat. So that's why Amazon has Whole Foods, because if you have Amazon and you can get packages delivered there, that's why they have Prime. So, if you get free delivery, you get discounts there, you get movies. It's all in one ecosystem. It makes it a lot less attractive for you to cancel and switch to somebody else. So this is okay that it's losing money. I think people expected that number to go down, but it has gone up. And that's why people might be selling it today. And again, they are doing new things like computing as a service and AI that could have great benefits down the road, but temporarily make it look not as attractive as the rest of it. And so I'm not surprised, as I said, if you look at after every earnings call except one for the past 3 or 4 years, this has always gone down. And I've always used that as an opportunity for me to either add shares or buy some calls or sell some puts when it's down. And if I do it short term and then it recovers quickly, I can sell it for a nice profit over a short period of time. But I do own some 2027 calls, and I believe I sold some puts short term this morning. So we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, I still like this. And not a recommendation to buy or sell, but just me walking through my process. So it would really help me out if you like and subscribe to this channel so you'll see future updates, and it helps with the algorithm. And if you have questions about this or a video on anything else you'd like to see, just leave it below. Have a great day, everyone.